stages. The class Reptilia, or reptiles, has evolved after amphibians and became fully adapted to life on land. They developed scaly, waterproof skin and laid amniotic eggs that could survive outside the water. Reptiles include lizards, snakes, turtles, and crocodiles. Their efficient lungs and dry skin allowed them to colonize dry environment. Under the class Reptilia, we have the order Testudines, which would include turtles, order Crocodilia, which would include crocodiles, alligators, caimans, and gavials. Order Sphenodontia, you have Rhynchocephalia, which would include tuataras, and the order Squamata, which would include snake, lizards, worm lizards. Kindly take note of all these orders under the class Reptilia. Now, the skeleton of a turtle. We have the dorsal view of the carapace, or the back of the turtle is called a carapace. Ventral view of the carapace and the appendicular skeleton, where the keratin covers the carapace, which is composed of fused vertebrae, expanded ribs, and dermal bone. Letter C is a dorsal view of the plastron, which is the ventral side of the turtle. The ventral view of the plastron that forms some dermal bone and a bone of the pectoral girdle. It is also covered by keratin. So both sides of the turtle, for the carapace and the plastron, are both covered in keratin, which is a strong protein constituent. Birds or aves. Reptiles by another name, and then we'll proceed to mammals, synapsid amniotes. Birds or aves actually evolved from reptilian ancestors, specifically from theropod dinosaurs. They have feathers, lightweight bones, and adaptation for flight, such as keeled sternum for muscle attachment. Feathers originally evolved for insulation, not flight, and later became specialized for flying. Birds are endothermic, meaning they can maintain a constant body temperature, an important evolutionary advancement. We have two superorder under the class Aves. Superorder Paleognathae, wherein these are the large flightless birds, which would include ostriches and rheas. The superorder Neognathae are the new birds, other than the superorder Paleognathae, which would include Gallionceres and Neo-Aves. Gallionceres would include waterfowls, South American screamer, duck, geese, swans, and some other webbed-feet birds. Then you have the order Galliform. You have the landfowl, short beak, short concave wings, strong feet and coast. You have curassows, grouse, quail, visons, and even turkey. Now for Neo-Aves, we have different orders. This would include grebes, flamingos, pigeons, doves, cuckoos, roadrunners, rail scoots, oaks, terns, gulls, petrels, shearwaters, albatrosses, penguins, owls, and raptorial foots. Finally, we reach mammals, the most advanced vertebrates. Mammals are characterized by hair, mammary glands for feeding their young, and three middle ear bones. They are warm-blooded and highly adaptable, occupying almost every habitat on Earth. From tiny bats to giant whales, mammals show incredible diversity, but all share the same basic features that set them apart from other vertebrates. The class Mammalia would include subclass Prototheria, which are oviparous and cloaca are present. These would include monotremes, and subclass Theria, which are technical characteristic of the skull distinguishing members of the subclass, wherein included here is the order primates of the mammalians. Under the subclass Theria, you have the infraclass Metatheria, which are viviparous, primitive placenta. Young are born early and often are carried in marsupial pouch on the female belly, which would include kangaroos or marsupials. Then the infraclass Eutheria. They have complex placenta. Youngs develop to advanced stage prior to their birth. which we call as placentals. Now we have the superorder Afrotheria. Orders would include Proboscidea, which includes elephants, both the African and the Indian elephants. They have long muscular proboscis or the trunk with one or two fingers like processes at the tip. Short skull with a second incisor on each side of the upper jaw modified into tusk. Six teeth are present in each half of each jaw. The teeth would erupt in a sequence from front to rear so that one tooth in each jaw is functional. Then you have the order Sirenia that would include manatees of the coastal rivers of the Americas and Africas and the dugongs of the western Pacific and Indian Ocean. They are large aquatic herbivores that weigh in excess of 600 kilograms, nearly hairless with thick, wrinkled skin, heavy skeleton, forelimb is flipper-like, and hind limb is vestigial. Then we have the superorder Sinarthra. As the name suggests, this order would include order Sinarthra. With incisors and canines absent, the cheek teeth when present would lack enamel. The brain case is long cylindrical. The hindfoot is 4 foot. We have anteaters and tree sloths and armadillos. The superorder Laurentiatheria include order Eulipotiptala. Small mammals with long, narrow, mobile snouts feed on insects and earthworms. Includes hedgehogs, true moles, and shrews. The order Chiroptera, kindly take note of these. They are cosmopolitan but especially abundant in the tropics. Bones of the arm and hands are elongated and slender. They are flight members of the mammalians. The flight membranes extend from the body between digits of forelimbs to the hind limbs. Most are insectivorous, but some are fruit eaters, fish eaters, and blood feeders. Second largest mammalian order, which would include the bats. Next, we have the order Carnivora. Predatory mammals usually have a highly developed sense of smell and large brain case, premolars and molars modified into carnassial apparatus. 3 pair of upper and lower incisors are usually present, which would include dogs, cats, bears, raccoons, minks, sea lions, seals, walruses, and oryx. Next, you have order Perissodactyla. They are hoofed. Axis of support passes through the third digit, which would include ad-toed ungulates such as horses, rhinoceros, zebras, and tapirs. Order Artiodactyla. They are hoofed also, but axis of support passes between the third and the fourth digits. Third digit has 1 to 2 and 5 reduced or lost, primarily grazing and browsing animals, which would include hippopotamus, pigs, camels, antelope, deer, sheep, giraffes, and cattle. Order Cetacea. They are streamlined in nearly hairless and insulated by thick layers of fats. No sebaceous limb and forelimbs modified into paddle-like flippers for swimming, hind limbs reduced and not visible externally. Would include dolphins, porpoises, killer whales, and toothless filter-feeding baleen and humpback whales. Now we have the superorder Urochordata. The order Lagomorpha. 2 pairs of upper incisors, 1 pair of lower incisors